asked me the other day for biblical proof about dating. And he asked me, is dating important? And I told him, yeah, absolutely necessary. And he challenged me and asked me for biblical proof as to where the Bible instructs us to date. And I told him, you are right, the Bible doesn't explicitly talk about dating. And he cited my earlier video that I talked about Genesis 2 as a foundation for marriage. And I told him, you are right. Adam did not need to date because he received a perfect wife. Welcome to Beyond I Do. My name is Pastor Tony Kubanga, your marriage coach and relationship expert. Adam received a perfect wife. Adam was a perfect man. He received a perfect wife from a perfect God, and he was pursuing a perfect assignment, a perfect job that God had given him. So there was no reason for him to get into dating. You should not just be excited because of what is in the Bible or what is not there. The Bible needs to be read, studied, understood, and interpreted within a context. There is a sociological context, economical context, geographical, historical, and a cultural context. We need to understand that the world is constantly changing, but the word does not change. And therefore, we get to glean certain principles from God's word and apply them to our context today. You cannot just get somebody in the streets and marry them just like that. You need to date in order to learn them and understand. But most importantly, before that, you need to understand, first of all, what does marriage entail? What is marriage all about? That word marriage comes from the word mar, which means to destroy, to completely annihilate, to deface and obliterate. So you need to ask yourself, am I ready to put my life on the line? Am I ready to spend my life with someone's daughter or somebody's son and think about them and put them first, put God first and then them and then me? Because if you're not ready to do that, then please do not get married. If I had my way, I would make sure that marital studies are taught in schools, right from age 10 all the way to high school and into our colleges, so that we get this idea of marriage, this subject of marriage embedded into our psyche, so that by the time you're in your 20s or 30s, when you're considering marriage, you can say, this thing is not meant for me, I'm not wired for marriage, or I'm ready for marriage. Because not everybody is wired for marriage. Not everybody has been designed, is ready to live their lives and share it with someone else for the rest of their natural lives. Just like other couples who are married are not willing to have children. So let us stop putting undue pressure on everybody. The second thing is this: you need to count the costs. Jesus talks about counting the cost in John 14:28. He says, before you build a tower, you need to count the cost. The same thing applies to marriage. You need to ask yourself, am I ready to be with someone else? Am I ready to share my resources, my time, my affection, every other thing? Am I ready to accept someone else the way they've come and live with them for the rest of our life? If you're not ready to do that, please, brothers and sisters, do not stress yourself and do not put someone else's daughter or someone else's son into undue stress, because marriage is not a good thing. I'm writing a book about that, and I'll be able to explain my thesis concerning that, and I'll even make a video concerning that. There's also another video that I'm preparing about to the singles called "Do Not Marry Your Best Friend." And I remember 3 years ago I said about that, and Twitter went on fire. People were crazy and asking me, "Are you crazy? What do you mean?" And even the married people are saying, "What do you mean? I've gotten married. I married my best friend, and we have a successful marriage." I'll be explaining my thesis concerning that. And the other thing is, the last thing about this is that marriage will either kill you or you will kill the marriage if you're not ready to die. Because marriage, brothers and sisters, is a death sentence. Marriage is like walking into, if you take the picture of you walking into a tailor shop or the shop of a seamstress and getting your outfit made in preparation for a big function. Before your dress is completely ready, you need to go a few days prior so that you do some fitting to find out, does this outfit really fit you well? The same thing applies to marriage. and dating, you are going to fit in your marital coffin, or you're going to a marital cemetery to see if this marital grave, figuratively speaking, is befitting you and your spouse. Are both of you willing to put your lives down on the line? Are you willing to die daily, so that, as Paul says in 1 Corinthians 15:31, so that both of you can have a meaningful and thriving marriage? Are you willing to do that? If not, please do not get married. And in conclusion, we are normally told to put your best foot forward, or rather it comes as a default setting. And I'll make another video concerning this about what we do in dating, or how we pretend during dating. I remember when I was dating my wife, Terry, and how I pretended, or maybe we pretended actually. She will kill me after this, but it's okay. I'm saying the truth anyway. We pretended. And you put your best foot forward because you are trying to impress the other person. You're trying to create a good impression. And then when you get married, what happens? You'll know what happens, especially for those of us who are married. During dating, you put both feet forward and let the real you come out. So I'd like us to engage more on this. Hit me an inbox, comment below.